Hello and welcome to the Golden Playbook. Today we are going over 6 quarterbacks and tight ends that I am most nervous to draft in 2025 fantasy football drafts. In the previous weeks, we've done the running backs and the wide receiver version of this video. So if you have not checked those out, make sure you go and do so. While you're doing that, make sure you smash the subscribe button so you can stay tuned and ready for all our content leading up to fantasy drafts this season. With no further ado, the first guy on this list is Baker Mayfield. Baker is currently the quarterback 7 with an ADP of 93 on Underdog. And the main reason Baker makes it on this list is the price that we are having to pay for him at this time. I feel like he's being drafted at his ceiling. I know he was the quarterback 4 last year, but I just don't think that is repeatable. As we look through his kind of career numbers, the real outlier is last season with the 4,500 yards, 41 touchdowns. I do not think Baker will be at that same level. Main reason being Liam Cohen is gone off to Jacksonville. Anytime you lose an offensive coordinator of that stature, of that skill level, your numbers will naturally come back down to the mean. Prior to last season, the most touchdowns he has had in a season is 28, and I feel like that is more likely scenario for Baker this season. Listen, I'm not off of him completely, but the quarterback 7 price tag that we are having to pay above some really, really talented guys. If you would have been told last offseason when Baker was being drafted around quarterback 20 that he would be a top 7 quarterback this season, you would just not believe it whatsoever. I know he has plenty of weapons to throw the ball to, so that's why I'm not completely off of Baker. But at his current price tag, I'm very nervous to draft him because you need basically a repeat of what last season was, and I just don't think that's how the offense will be set up this season. Next guy on this list is Mark Andrews. He is the tight end 7, ADP of 106. There's multiple factors going into this. Obviously, at the end of last season, Mark Andrews kind of gave away the Ravens season in the playoffs, which I know does not have fantasy implications. Not to mention a play like that, a game like that can mess with your confidence and your mental fortitude. So I know he's a professional athlete, and these things, usually don't get talked about, but that kind of play dropping likely the game winner could mess with you. But not only that, obviously Isaiah Likely is there chomping at the bit to get more snaps, get on the field more. He signed a contract now, so he's getting paid more similarly to Mark Andrews. This is another guy I feel we are drafting at his ceiling as tight end 7. Last year he had a 62% snap share, which is his lowest in 4 seasons. Obviously they're working on the transition to Likely, or at least to a more 50-50 split, leading to obviously less opportunities. Not to mention he had a huge touchdown spike season, 11 touchdowns on only 69 targets. That kind of touchdown rate is just not repeatable. So I'm expecting quite the regression out of Mark Andrews, which is making me nervous to buy him at his current price tag of tight end 7. Next up on the list, Justin Fields. He's being drafted as the quarterback 10, ADP of 100. Listen, I know on Underdog he is boosted up more than your ESPN or regular site because of the best ball factor, where people are searching for the high upside weeks. But even still, I'm very nervous to draft Justin Fields in any capacity this season. We have a large sample size of him just not being a good thrower of the football. We know this. This is no secret. He's being drafted for his rushing abilities and rushing abilities alone. I just think Fields' range of outcomes is really unpredictable and really wide, right? He could be a smash pick, top 5 quarterback just due to his rushing abilities. That is in the realm of possibilities. Back in 2022, he was the quarterback 6 overall. On the other side of the spectrum, it's not like New York paid him a ton of money, starter money. He got $20 million a year, I believe. So a couple of bad games, and we could easily see Tyrod Taylor getting a starting nod. Say 2 or 3 games, Fields is taking sacks, interceptions, just not completing the easy balls to Garrett Wilson. We could easily see him being benched for Tyrod Taylor. I believe that is in the realm of possibilities. Even though in theory Fields' upside is very high, his floor, his downside is losing the starting job. So I'm very nervous to draft Justin Fields, especially at the quarterback 10. I understand that is more for best ball purposes, but in super flex leagues, if you're wanting to take a high upside shot on a guy, I understand it. But drafting a guy like Justin Fields, you're inevitably going to be having the ups and downs. Not to mention the Jets are projected to be a bottom 5 offense in the NFL, which, doesn't provide well for fantasy points, generally speaking. Fourth guy on our list, Tyler Warren. He is the tight end 9, ADP around 120 right now. And listen, just because I'm nervous to draft a guy does not mean I'm not going to do it. I want to have a couple shares of Tyler Warren. But with that being said, another guy with the range of outcomes being very, very wide. Generally speaking, I am very concerned about the quarterback play in Indy, as most people are. Will it be Daniel Jones? Will it be Anthony Richardson? We think we want Daniel Jones for Tyler Warren's purposes, but even still, Daniel Jones hasn't proven to provide massive fantasy numbers for tight ends, for receiving threats in general. And if Anthony Richardson does kind of take over as quarterback role, it's going to be a run-heavy offense regardless. They want to get Jonathan Taylor 25 touches a game. They want to get the quarterback running. So I don't know how many opportunities per game Tyler Warren is going to get. I think they're going to use him in kind of a Swiss Army knife role, out of the backfield, obviously normal tight end, split out wide. I think he's going to have a big role in the offense, but the quarterback play is very unpredictable. So you're definitely going to be taking, a shot on Tyler Warren. He's going to be a guy you're going to want to pair up with a boring veteran tight end that there's going to be some volume there, especially beginning of the season. We don't know what Tyler Warren's role will be in this offense. So as you're kind of finding out how that will play out, you want a guy that'll give you some boring, consistent production to kind of tide you over until Tyler Warren gets his footing in this offense. Another note, there are a lot of receiving options there. They may not all be quality, but you got the Josh Downs, the Michael Pittmans, the Alec Pierce, even Adonai Mitchell. Some people are expecting to take a little sophomore jump. So that's 4 wide receivers deep, to go with Tyler Warren himself. And like I mentioned already, they want to be run heavy. So that doesn't leave, a ton of targets to each guy, depending how that gets divvied up. And people are expecting huge things out of Josh Downs. So there's just not a ton of balls to go around. I'm a little more skeptical of Tyler Warren than I was a month ago, just doing a little more thinking about it. But I think the potential upside is definitely there with Tyler Warren, as he is an elite tight end prospect. As we move on to our last quarterback of the group, we've got J.J. McCarthy, currently being drafted at the quarterback 16, ADP 123. And he is a big riser right now, getting lots of buzz out of camp. Obviously, he has great weapons to throw to in Jay Jettas, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson. And we know what Kevin O'Connell can do. He has made Sam Darnold look amazing. Kirk obviously did great things with him. He can get just about any wide receiver open, it feels like. But with that being said, I feel like J.J. McCarthy is being drafted as a guy who we know for sure can play the quarterback position well. And obviously, with being injured last season, we don't know what he can do at the NFL level. Essentially, he is a rookie for me. I know in the mental process, he knows the offense already. He's not coming into something new. He knows the process, kind of how an NFL game day and all that works. But with that being said, he has no reps in the games, which is obviously huge for a quarterback. So I'm viewing him more as a rookie quarterback. And right now, Cam Ward is down near the quarterback 26. Now, I'm not saying McCarthy should be down exactly where Ward is at, just based off situation, coaching, weapons available. But I feel like we're drafting J.J. McCarthy a touch high for a guy who could absolutely be bad at football. Of course, being a first-round pick, we're expecting him to be able to pick it up and play well. But there have been plenty of first-round busts who have not provided for fantasy whatsoever. What if J.J. McCarthy is one of those guys? I feel like people are not taking that into account with his current ADP. Last guy on the list, Dalton Kincaid, tight end 13, ADP of 136. And listen, I know it's cool to predict a guy to break out when he hasn't been super good so far. I know he's a first-round tight end pick. I know he came out very talented, but it is not seeming good for Dalton Kincaid. Dawson Knox is still there. We know that. We know Josh Allen and James Cook are going to get it done on the ground, especially in the red zone, as Dalton Kincaid has had 2 touchdowns in each of his first 2 seasons. And listen, maybe it's not Dalton's fault. Maybe he is a talented guy who is just not being put in the right positions to succeed on the field, to get these tight end fantasy points that we are wanting from him. But if that's how you feel, then nothing's changed. He's still in Buffalo, still in the same tight end room with Dawson Knox, still the same quarterback, same offense. Nothing has really changed for Dalton Kincaid. So unless they start to develop some newfound, usage for the tight end room for Dalton Kincaid himself, if they want to split him out wide as receiver. If you want to bet on Buffalo fully changing the offense for Dalton Kincaid to succeed, so be it. That's the price you're getting at tight end 13. I'm just not seeing it yet. Dalton Kincaid is going to be a guy. I need to see it to believe it. And not just 1 or 2 weeks. I need to see a multiple game sample size out of Dalton Kincaid to really believe that he can be a tight end 1 in the NFL. All right, there you have it. There are my 6 quarterbacks and tight ends that I am most nervous to draft at the moment for 2025 drafts. Like I mentioned earlier, I did the running back and receiver version of this in previous videos, so make sure you check those out. While you're doing that, hit the button that looks like that. And comment down below if you agree with these guys, if you have other quarterbacks and tight ends you are nervous about. Make sure you smash the subscribe button as well and hit the little notification bell so you know when I drop a video. Currently, we are on a Wednesday, Saturday schedule. I appreciate all of the support from you guys. I really do appreciate it. We will see you on the next one. Peace.